The world of Dragon Ball Super is one of relentless battles, cosmic stakes, and ever-evolving power levels. In the vast expanse of the multiverse, the seventh universe stands as a focal point of intense conflict and unparalleled strength. The story begins with the aftermath of the Tournament of Power, where the warriors of Universe 7 narrowly secured victory against the strongest fighters from across the multiverse. However, peace is fleeting in the Dragon Ball universe, and a new threat looms on the horizon, one that will test the limits of even the most powerful warriors. At the heart of this story are the Saiyan warriors, Goku and Vegeta, whose rivalry and camaraderie have defined their journey. Goku, the ever-optimistic and battle-hungry Saiyan, continues to seek new challenges to push his limits. His insatiable thirst for growth drives him to train relentlessly, even in times of peace. Vegeta, on the other hand, is motivated by a deep-seated pride and a desire to surpass Goku. His journey from a ruthless conqueror to a devoted protector of his family and universe has been one of the most compelling arcs in the series. Despite their differences, both warriors share a common goal: to protect their universe from any threat that arises. The story also introduces the next generation of fighters, with Gohan stepping back into the spotlight. After years of focusing on his academic career and family life, Gohan has rediscovered his passion for combat, thanks in part to the mentorship of Piccolo and the encouragement of his father. His latent potential, once unlocked during the Tournament of Power, has reached new heights, and he now stands as one of the strongest warriors in Universe 7. However, Gohan's journey is not without its challenges. His newfound strength comes with a price, as he struggles to balance his responsibilities as a father and husband with his duty as a protector of Earth. The initial conflict arises when a mysterious energy signature is detected on a distant planet within Universe 7. The Z fighters, alerted by Whis and Beerus, gather to investigate. The energy is unlike anything they have encountered before, radiating a malevolent aura that sends shivers down their spines. Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan volunteer to lead the mission, accompanied by Piccolo, whose strategic mind and experience make him an invaluable asset. As the team arrives on the planet, they are immediately confronted by a group of powerful warriors who serve as the vanguard of this new threat. The battle begins with Goku taking on the leader of the group, a towering figure clad in dark armor. Goku starts in his base form, testing his opponent's strength with a flurry of punches and kicks. The armored warrior counters with surprising speed, landing a devastating blow that sends Goku skidding across the ground. Unfazed, Goku smirks and powers up to Super Saiyan Blue, his aura blazing with energy. The two clash in a flurry of punches and energy blasts, each strike sending shockwaves through the battlefield. Meanwhile, Vegeta faces off against a nimble opponent who specializes in speed and precision. The Saiyan Prince, ever the tactician, quickly adapts to his opponent's movements, countering with calculated strikes. Vegeta's pride drives him to push harder, and he soon transforms into Super Saiyan Blue evolution, his aura crackling with raw power. With a roar, he unleashes a barrage of Gallic gun blasts, forcing his opponent to retreat. Gohan, on the other hand, finds himself in a more intense battle. His opponent is a hulking brute with immense physical strength, capable of shattering the ground with a single punch. Gohan starts in his base form, but as the battle intensifies, he taps into his ultimate form, his eyes glowing with a fierce determination. The brute charges at him, but Gohan counters with a perfectly timed punch to the gut, followed by a spinning kick that sends his opponent flying. The brute, however, is not easily defeated. He roars in anger and transforms, his body growing larger and more muscular. Gohan, realizing the stakes, pushes himself further, his aura flaring with a crimson hue as he enters a new transformation, Red-Eyed Gohan. Piccolo, ever the strategist, observes the battles from a distance, analyzing the opponent's weaknesses. He intervenes at critical moments, using his signature special beam cannon to create openings for his allies. His experience and wisdom prove invaluable as the Z fighters gain the upper hand. As the initial skirmish concludes, the Z fighters regroup, their bodies bruised but their spirits unbroken. They realize that this is only the beginning of a much larger conflict. The mysterious energy signature grows stronger, and the true threat reveals itself, a being of unimaginable power, one that threatens not just Universe 7, but the entire multiverse. The stage is set for an epic battle, with the Z fighters standing as the last line of defense. Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan, each driven by their own motivations, must push beyond their limits to protect everything they hold dear. The story of Dragon Ball Super continues, with new transformations, intense battles, and the unyielding spirit of the Saiyan warriors at its core. The battle in the 7th universe had reached a fever pitch, with warriors pushing past their limits in a desperate struggle for supremacy. The air crackled with energy as the fighters unleashed their full power, each determined to prove their worth. The conflict centered around the rising tension between the top-tier warriors, particularly the rivalry between Goku and Vegeta, and the unexpected resurgence of Gohan, whose newfound power had sent shockwaves through the battlefield. The fight began with Goku and Vegeta squaring off against a formidable opponent, a mysterious warrior cloaked in dark energy. The enemy moved with blinding speed, their attacks precise and devastating. Goku, ever the adaptable fighter, quickly shifted into his Ultra Instinct form, his movements becoming fluid and almost imperceptible. He dodged a flurry of energy blasts with ease, countering with a powerful Kamehameha that tore through the battlefield. Vegeta, not to be outdone, activated his Ultra Ego form, his power surging as he embraced the pain of battle. He charged forward, his fists glowing with destructive energy, and landed a devastating blow that sent the enemy skidding across the ground. However, the enemy was far from defeated. With a roar, they unleashed a massive energy wave that forced both Goku and Vegeta to retreat. Sensing an opportunity, Gohan stepped in, his crimson eyes blazing with intensity. His new form, a result of his latent potential being unlocked, gave him a fearsome edge. He moved with incredible speed, closing the distance between himself and the enemy in an instant. His fists struck with precision, each blow landing with thunderous impact. The enemy struggled to keep up, their defenses crumbling under Gohan's relentless assault. As the battle raged on, the fighters began to adapt their strategies. Goku and Vegeta, realizing that brute force alone wouldn't be enough, started to coordinate their attacks. Goku used his Ultra Instinct to predict the enemy's movements, while Vegeta exploited openings with his raw power. Together, they launched a synchronized assault, their attacks landing in perfect harmony. The enemy, overwhelmed by the sheer intensity of their combined efforts, began to falter. Meanwhile, Gohan continued to push himself to new heights. His crimson aura flared as he tapped into even greater reserves of power. He unleashed a devastating energy blast that engulfed the enemy, the sheer force of it shaking the battlefield. But even this wasn't enough to end the fight. The enemy, though battered, refused to go down. With a final surge of energy, they launched a counterattack, a massive energy wave that threatened to overwhelm the warriors. In a dramatic turn of events, Vegeta stepped forward, his Ultra Ego form glowing brighter than ever. He absorbed the brunt of the attack, his body trembling under the strain. But he refused to back down. With a roar, he redirected the energy, sending it hurtling back at the enemy. The resulting explosion was blinding, the shockwave sending everyone flying. When the dust settled, the enemy lay defeated, their energy spent. But the battle wasn't over yet. Goku, sensing an even greater threat, turned his attention to the horizon. A new challenger emerged, their power dwarfing anything they had faced before. The warriors, battered but determined, prepared for the next round of combat. Gohan, his crimson eyes still burning with intensity, stepped forward, ready to prove himself once more. Vegeta, his Ultra Ego form still active, stood beside him, a fierce determination in his eyes. And Goku, his Ultra Instinct form shimmering with energy, took his place at the front, ready to lead the charge. The final battle was a test of endurance, strategy, and sheer willpower. The fighters pushed themselves to their absolute limits, their movements a blur of speed and power. Goku's Ultra Instinct allowed him to anticipate every attack, his counters precise and devastating. Vegeta's Ultra Ego form grew stronger with each blow he took, his attacks becoming more ferocious. And Gohan, his crimson aura blazing, unleashed a series of energy blasts that lit up the battlefield. As the fight reached its climax, the warriors combined their powers for one final, devastating attack. Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan stood side by side, their energy merging into a single, unstoppable force. With a unified roar, they unleashed their attack, a massive energy wave that tore through the enemy's defenses and obliterated them in a blinding explosion of light. When the dust settled, the battlefield was silent. The warriors, exhausted but victorious, stood tall, their bonds stronger than ever. They had pushed past their limits, adapted to the fight, and emerged victorious. The seventh universe had proven its strength once more, and the warriors had shown that, no matter the odds, they would never back down. The final battle in Dragon Ball Super reaches its climax as the warriors of Universe 7 push themselves to their absolute limits, their bodies and spirits strained to the breaking point. The arena trembles under the sheer force of their energy, the air crackling with the intensity of their clashes. At the center of it all, Goku and Vegeta stand side by side, their rivalry momentarily set aside as they face a common enemy. The stakes have never been higher, the survival of their universe hangs in the balance, and every move, every decision, could mean the difference between victory and annihilation. Goku, his Ultra Instinct form flickering like a dying flame, grits his teeth as he charges forward. His movements, once fluid and effortless, are now labored, his body struggling to keep up with the demands of the technique. His opponent, a towering figure shrouded in dark energy, counters with a devastating blast that sends Goku skidding across the arena floor. Blood drips from his mouth, but his eyes remain fierce, unyielding. "I can't give up now," he mutters, his voice barely audible over the roar of battle. "Not when everyone's counting on me." With a roar, he taps into the last reserves of his strength, his aura flaring to life once more as he launches himself back into the fray. Vegeta, meanwhile, has reached a new level of power, his pride and determination fueling his transformation. His royal blue aura burns brighter than ever, his attacks more precise and devastating. Kakarot may have his ultra instinct, he growls, his fists slamming into their opponent with bone-crushing force, but I have my own path to power. His eyes narrow as he channels his energy into a massive final flash, the sheer force of the attack illuminating the arena. The blast connects, but their enemy emerges from the smoke, seemingly unfazed. Vegeta curses under his breath, his body trembling from exhaustion. Is this really all I've got? He wonders, his pride clashing with the harsh reality of the situation. Elsewhere, Gohan, his eyes blazing with a fierce red glow, fights with a ferocity that surprises even himself. His potential unleashed, he moves with a speed and power that rivals even Goku and Vegeta. "I won't let you hurt my family," he snarls, his fists a blur as he delivers a barrage of punches and kicks. His opponent staggers under the assault, but Gohan knows he can't let up. He channels his energy into a massive Kamehameha, the beam tearing through the air with unstoppable force. The attack lands, and for a moment, it seems like victory is within reach. But as the dust settles, his opponent stands tall, a sinister grin spreading across their face. Gohan's heart sinks, but he refuses to give in. "I have to keep going," he tells himself, his resolve hardening. "For everyone who believes in me." The battle rages on, each warrior pushing themselves beyond their limits. Frieza, ever the opportunist, watches from the sidelines, his golden form gleaming in the chaos. "Let them weaken themselves," he sneers, his eyes narrowing as he plots his next move. But even he can't ignore the growing desperation of the situation. With a reluctant sigh, he joins the fray, his death beam slicing through the air with deadly precision. "Don't think this means I'm on your side," he growls, his attacks as ruthless as ever. "I'm just doing what's necessary to survive." As the battle reaches its peak, the defining moment arrives. Goku, his body battered and broken, closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. "I can't rely on Ultra Instinct alone," he realizes, his mind clearing as he taps into a deeper, more primal power. His aura shifts, taking on a new, otherworldly hue. "This is it," he whispers, his voice steady. The power of the Saiyan spirit, combined with the calm of Ultra Instinct. With a roar, he unleashes a devastating Kamehameha, the beam surging with an intensity that dwarfs all his previous attacks. The blast engulfs their opponent, the sheer force of it shaking the very fabric of the arena. Vegeta, seeing his chance, channels every ounce of his energy into a final, earth-shattering attack. "This is for my pride, for my family, for my universe," he bellows, his royal blue aura flaring to its brightest yet. His Gallic gun collides with Goku's Kamehameha, the combined force of their attacks overwhelming their enemy. The arena is consumed in a blinding light, the shockwave rippling across the multiverse. When the light fades, the enemy lies defeated, their energy dissipating into the void. The warriors of Universe 7 stand victorious, their bodies broken but their spirits unbroken. Goku collapses to his knees, a weary smile on his face. "We did it," he says, his voice hoarse. Vegeta, standing tall despite his injuries, nods in agreement. "Don't get used to it, Kakarot," he mutters, though there's a hint of respect in his tone. Gohan, his red eyes fading back to normal, looks around at his comrades, a sense of pride swelling in his chest. "We fought together," he says, his voice filled with emotion. "And we won." The aftermath of the battle is one of both celebration and reflection. The universe has been saved, but the cost has been high. The warriors return to their lives, forever changed by the experience. Goku and Vegeta, their rivalry reignited, vow to continue pushing each other to new heights. Gohan, his potential fully realized, takes on a new role as a protector of Earth, his confidence and strength inspiring those around him. Even Frieza, though still as cunning and ruthless as ever, finds himself reluctantly acknowledging the strength of his former enemies. The dynamics of the universe have shifted, the bonds between its warriors stronger than ever. As they look to the future, they know that new challenges await, but they also know that they have the strength and determination to face them. Together, They have proven that even in the face of overwhelming odds, the power of unity and perseverance can overcome anything. And so, the saga of Universe 7 continues, their legacy etched into the stars for all eternity.